Hi everybody and welcome back to Smart Home Improvements, and for joining me Kevin with this video. So today what I thought I'd speak about is because a lot of people say to me, how much is it going to cost for me to get the whole house done if I want it double glazed, get brand new doors, get it all updated, especially at this time of year. You know, we're coming up to Christmas, cold weather coming. Okay, so I thought I'd speak about how much it costs for a 4-bedroom house. Now, I'd normally do a 3-bedroom, okay, but 3-bedroom, a lot of people have 4-bedroom houses. You know, I personally, I live in a 4-bedroom house, mainly because I have too many children. Okay, when I say that, I've had a few kids, you know. I'm a father of 7, okay. 2 of them don't live with me, you know. One of them's fully grown, my stepdaughter. She's what, 24 years old, got married, had a kid, you know, happily married as far as I'm aware. You know, I haven't had anything to the contrary. And my other one lives with her mother, who don't, you know, we're not together, separated what, 16 years ago. So she lives with her mother at the end of the day, and that's how she's happy to be, and I'm extremely happy for her. So what I thought I'd have her do, you know, my other 5 kids do live with me, while we're in a 4-bedroom house. So how much does it cost? And that's the key question. Now, when you look at it, it's a hard thing for me to generally say, because it can vary from company to company. Now, I've always said, and this has got me in trouble as well in the past, you know, I've had falling outs with other companies, okay, because normally I would say the average price of a window as a run of the mill is 500 quid, okay, per window. That's what you're looking at on average. National average across the country, 500 quid you're looking at. Now, there are companies, won't mention names, like sales reps that work for Anglian specifically, and it's sales reps. It's not the actual company, it's sales reps. Okay, I say, oh no, you should be looking at £800-900. Yeah, you can pay £900. You can pay an awful lot more than that if you want to. But we all want a good deal at the end of the day. We don't want to be paying top dollar. We want the best possible deal. So what I thought I'd do is do this. So for a 4-bedroom house, you're looking at about 9 windows. That's how many I have in my house. Now, if you do live in a house where you've got like a bay window or a bow window, whichever, okay, you then turn that figure into 11. Okay, so if you've got a bay window or a bow, okay, that's 11 windows. Okay, so you're going to be looking, just for the windows alone, £5,500. That's what you're going to be looking at. Okay, if not, I don't have a bay window. Okay, so I'm looking at £4,500 for it. Okay, right, then you want to look at the doors. Now, most people nowadays are going to be looking at getting composite doors. Now, I did a video the other day saying how good a deals you can get. Now, across the country, okay, to get a composite door for your front door, okay, because you've got all the add-ons, you know, you can get them really cheap, okay, you don't have to go paying top dollar. You're looking at anywhere from about £700 up to about £2,500, okay, depending on how posh you want to get. You know, if you want like gold knockers and spy holes and all the chrome and everything put on it, obviously the price is going to go up. If you want fancy glass put into it, the price is going to go up. It's like anything, you know, if you want the Ford Fiesta, it's going to be a lot cheaper. Does exactly, you know, Ford Fiesta does nothing different to a Ferrari, except the Ferrari goes a lot faster and it's got a bigger price as well, obviously. So that's the fundamental difference, you know. So if you want a composite door, realistically, you're looking at an average of around about somewhere between 1 to 1.5. I would say go up towards the 1,500 figure as a budget. Okay, that's what I would generally say. So you know you got enough money in your budget. Then for your back door, okay, you're going to be looking at somewhere around about the £700 figure. Okay, you put that £700 budget there, even though you're going to be able to get it for less than that. Okay, you know you've at least got enough money. So if you add all that together, that adds up to £6,700. Now, here comes the kicker. If you get all that done together, you're not paying £6,700. I remember a few years ago, and it's a good few years ago, it's like a decade ago, because I haven't really worked on the doors. Last company was SafeStar I worked for. That was what, about 9 years ago, maybe 10 years ago that was. Okay. And before that, I worked for Apple Home Improvements, who are no longer trading or anything. They went under. Okay, not because of me or anything, before you say anything. And I remember going to see this couple. Lovely couple they were. They were in their 70s at the time. And they used to live up in Hartlepool, as it happens, because he worked in the boat industry. And somebody I worked for actually knocked on their door, asked them about getting their windows and doors done. I said, yeah. And somebody came out, give them a price, and had quote for the front windows, quote for the back windows. Okay. And they said, oh, I don't really like the price for the front windows, but I'll get my back windows done at least. So I got their back windows done. And because back in those days, I used to go and do the install. So I go and speak to people who've got their installs being done, mainly because my job back then was to get people booked in for something else, you know, maybe a conservatory or getting a new door if they haven't already agreed it. And it's like I said to them, I said, well, you're an existing customer now, so you get 50% off. Do you want your front windows done if I can get you 50% off the price? And he said, oh yeah, I'd love that. So I got on the phone to the office, say, get somebody out here, get them signed up, knock 50% off the price, and he'll sign up today. And that happened. You know, that actually happened. Now, this is the kicker, and this happens quite a lot. I know companies that do this. I won't mention the names so I can't get sued. Now, when it comes to that price at £6,700, and I said £500 a window, if you go to a company, and this isn't always the case, but this does happen, and this is why I'm saying it, okay, be prepared that that price could go from £500 up to £700, because I know sales reps that do that. If it's buy one, get one free, expect that price to go up, because obviously they want to get their commission at the end of the day. So expect the price to go up. So it won't be at £500. You'll be paying somewhere in the region, probably about £700 to £800 a window. Okay. Now, the other options are quite often, if you're getting multiple items, they will start offering you discounts. Okay, it's like anything, you know, if you work in business, you know, you go and get something in bulk, you know, classic one is, I've forgotten the name of the company, Vistaprint. You go and buy leaflets from Vistaprint, you get 500, you may be paying 5p a leaflet. You go and order 1,000, you'll be paying 3p a leaflet. So what you're going to do, you're going to order it in bulk. And it's the same in the double glazing industry. The more windows you actually order, they'll start giving you discounts and reduce it. Okay, so it's an easy way to actually get the price reduced. So some companies, and I know this for a company that's not far away from us, you go to them and say, right, I want a composite door. They'll go and give you the back door free of charge. Okay, so always think about it. Don't think, oh, I'm just going to get one window done at the moment. The rest of them could probably wait a year. If I was you, okay, and I would give this advice, if you've got some windows that are arguably looking to be done in a year's time, get them done now, because you're going to save yourself money, and arguably the prices are probably going to go up in a year's time. Okay, I'm not saying that they definitely will, but for argument's sake, especially with the way that our government at the moment keeps on wanting to put taxes up, okay, especially since Labour came in, and I say that's a Conservative voter, okay, and you can all slate me later for that, you're probably better off looking at getting them done now, because you're going to be paying a cheaper price, okay. The other thing you might want to do is get multiple quotes. Now, obviously, my company can help you with that. Okay, if you want to get quotes from multiple companies and you ain't got time to be phoning around, we actually do help people do that. But if you don't want to use me, you don't have to. I'm not going to force you into anything. Always get multiple quotes. 3 or 4 quotes. Go and contact 3 or 4 companies. And then you play each company off against each other. I would always advise, even when I used to work on the doors for Pacific companies, okay, because I used to work as a door canvasser, okay, I'm not going to hide from it, that's what I did for years, absolutely loved it, met so many great people, okay, never met anybody that I disliked, and I can admit that, never got in an argument with anybody, in God knows how many years. And I always advised everybody get multiple quotes. Even if you decide not to buy from the company that I was working for, get multiple quotes, get them all to play off against each other. Never get them to come in at the same time, because it won't work. So, as an example, and this is what you do. Say, for instance, on the Friday, as an example, you get angling in. Okay. On the Saturday, I know they're not trading anymore, you get Apple in. Okay. On the Sunday, you get Everest in. And then on the Monday, you get First Home Improvements in. All big companies. Okay. It's just the first companies that come to my mind without thinking of names of other companies. So you get all them 4 companies in. You could only do 2 if you wanted to only do 2. And then when you don't take the deal that they offer you at the time, you never do that. Categoric, biggest mistake you ever do. So when they're going to do what's known as sweeping, okay, and for anybody that doesn't know what sweeping is, it's when they go back to their office and they go back in the morning, okay, and they phone up the people from the night before. And they say for instance, you've been offered it at 10,000. Say for instance, it's £15,000 for argument's sake. All of them are at 15 grand. And they're thinking, right, I need this deal in. I want to earn my money this week. And they may say, right, I know I quoted you 15 grand. I've been given permission by my office now to offer you it for 12,000. Would you purchase it at £12,000? That's what is known as sweeping. Okay. Trying to sweep it under the carpet by getting the deal in. Okay. So when they contact you, okay, say for instance, Angling's the first one that phones you and they've said 15 grand. Okay. You say, right, I spoke to First Home Improvements last night and they've offered it to me for 13 grand. Can you do 13 grand? Can you beat 13 grand? I said, well, we could offer you it for 11. And that's the way you do it. Now, a lot of people may say, oh, but that's not going to work. The irony, you'll be quite surprised how much this tactic will actually help you and work out for you. Now, I used to have a landlord when I was with my ex-wife. Okay, my old landlord, he had a big house in Southampton, and I mean, it was a big house. Okay, he was worth a few quid, and he got, I won't name the company. It actually happened to be Angling to come out to see him. Okay, and they quoted him I can't even believe they did this. They quoted him £120,000 to replace all the windows. It was a lot of windows when I say 120 grand, and the doors. So you're probably looking at 3 or 4 doors he was going to have done as well. And they quoted him £120,000. I won't tell you what he said at the time, because there'll be a lot of bad language, and I'm going to try and keep it quite clean, but I'm sure you can imagine what he said. So a couple of days later, like I said, they called him back to sweep, and he got them down to 30 grand. From 120 down to 30 grand. Okay. And he got all his windows and doors done with a £90,000 discount. And that's what he did. Okay. So when I say this tactic can work, I mean it truly can work by getting you the best possible deal. Don't be afraid to ask for discounts. Don't be afraid to try and haggle. I know people talk about it being the thing that you do in Africa and everything. British people don't do it. It's the best thing that you can do, and it'll get you banging deals at the end of the day. And double glazing companies are always happy to do it. Okay, so I hope this helps everybody out. If you've got any questions or want any more advice or help, don't hesitate. Just drop me a message and I'll see if I can help you out. But for now, thanks for watching. Okay, and please, if you have enjoyed this video, do give us a like and share as well. But for now, thanks for listening, and I'll speak to you again a bit later.